Hello，大家好，我是常老师。In this video, we're going to talk about AP Chinese strategies about the readings. We're going to cover these three parts. First, question amounts and how you will be asked in this AP Chinese exam. Second, categories of reading materials. Third, the strategies of comprehending the materials and answering the questions. First, let's take a look about the reading part, reading section in AP Chinese exam. As you can see, reading part belongs to the multiple choice section. It has 35 to 40 questions, which is 25% of the total score, and you will have to spend like about 1 hour to finish those tasks. 30 to 40 questions means you will have to read a wide range of contents, include the stories, letters, notes, advertisements, science, and so on. And the reading questions are in English. This means you will read Chinese contents and answer the questions in English. So I'm going to guide you to understand the different reading materials and strategies of how to comprehend the materials and answer the questions. The reading materials, generally it has 5 kinds: stories, letters, notes, advertisements, and science. Stories and letters are a little long, and so we're going to talk about this as one kind, and the notes, advertisements, and science, they are short. So we're going to talk about this in different part. First part, reading materials 1, stories and letters. Stories and letters are very long to read in Chinese exam. Each of these kinds of contents usually followed by 3 to 5 questions for you to answer. Those questions evaluate your ability of extracting information such as topics, main ideas, someone's opinions, reasons for something, and plans, events, something mentioned or not mentioned in the text, dates and times, people's identities, relationships, etc., etc. Definitely, you can't spend too much time to read each story or letter character by character, because AP exam is a time consuming. If you spend too much time, you will not have enough time to complete the other parts. Therefore, you have to have strategies to comprehend the main meaning of the reading and be able to answer the questions correctly. So, strategies for comprehending the stories and letters. One is to understand the topic and the main meaning. This part, you read the title and the first paragraph. Most of the times, most of the case, you can get the topic and the main meaning. The second strategy is predict the possible questions. When you read the topic, you should know you should predict what kind of question they will ask. And then read the questions before you read the details. You can scan the whole article or the letter, but you can't read the details so quickly. Therefore, you read the questions before you go to the details. With the question, you know what kind of detail you are looking for. So that's the reason you don't read the detail until you get to know what kind of question they're asking. The number 4 strategy is find out carefully read and comprehend the part each question specifically asking. You know the question and you need to find what they are asking. Let's take a look of this article. This is an example, an article, and it is long. It is long. So we're going to do this way. This is the article, and these are the 5 questions followed by this article for you to answer. So first, you read the title to understand what is this article about. So 环保趣谈. 环保, this word, these 2 characters you must to know, you should know. 环保, environment protection or protecting environment. 谈 means talk about. 趣 means interested talking. So you know, oh, it's about talking. Somebody is going to talk about the protecting environment. And then the first, if you want, you can quickly have a scan, like scan this main idea. 去年暑假，我在北京的中学生中文夏令营认识了美国来的中学生 Jamie。我跟 Jamie 一起去爬长城的时候，excuse me。我跟 Jamie 一起去爬长城的时候，聊到一些有趣的环保话题。So you got the subject, 我excuse me. So you got the subject, 我 Jamie. You got the time, 去年暑假 when they were going to the Great Wall. And the location is a Great Wall. The second is 那天天气很热 talk about the weather, and then they go to the Great Wall and quickly scan, we can see 休息喝水吃水果 so meaning they take a break, take a rest, or drink some water, eat some fruits, and then they talked about something. And we see the 垃圾 we see 绿色垃圾蓝色垃圾 oh you get to know so, oh it's gonna talk about the trash, like categorize the trash. And then the third paragraph 3, it's still eating, but in 餐厅 in a restaurant, and it talks about 用筷子 oh it's looks like they're going to talk about using chopsticks and 浪费 something. You check some words you learned. You don't have to go to too much details. Paragraph 4 said 在回去的路上有很多车 lots cars 回去 going back, traffic. Oh, you get to know on this paragraph they're going to talk about traffic. And then 回想起来 obviously this is like a opinion or summarize, sum up. So this is how you quickly scan this article. And then you read the question because you already have the title, you scan it, you know how many paragraphs and what they are talking about. And now we're going to take a look about the questions. Question 1. Each of the following is mentioned in the story as a benefit of riding bicycles instead of riding or driving cars, except. So, riding bicycles. So you think about which paragraph mentioned about riding bicycles and the benefits of riding bicycles. So when we were scanning, we noticed that only paragraph 4 was talking about the traffic. So it must be here. So we're going to find a bicycle in this paragraph. So this line, no, these are some cities, and we see like 交通问题 很大的问题 so traffic is going to be a big problem. And yes, here we found 骑自行车 but let's talk about it. Actually, before 其实以前大多数 it says before there are many Chinese rode bicycles, not a lot of people drive. Therefore, Chinese is called 自行车大国. So there's no benefit about riding bicycles, so we have to keep going. 要是 means if do something, and then we can do something. Obviously, the answer is here. So, 要是我们现在也能多骑自行车，少开车。If right now we still can ride bicycle more than driving, 不但可以，还可以。This is a structure you should learn. Not only you can, but also you can. So you can see. So let's see the details. This is the details you're looking for this question. 改善交通和空气污染的问题。Not only improve the relieving traffic congestion and improving air quality. So you have this too. But also 锻炼身体，还可以锻炼身体 provide health benefits. So this A, B, and D are mentioned except C. It didn't mention about saving energy. So you got the correct answer. Question 2. The story is primarily about this one. Actually, when you look at the title, it's already talking about it. It's environment protection or protecting the environment. And also the first paragraph specifically mentioned about environment, and also the last one summarized also talk about protecting the environment. So you don't have to go to details again. You just take a look. You assume the answer is B, and then you take a look about the other options. A is planning a summer vacation. It's not planning because it's last year. C is traffic congestion. It does talk about this, but it's not primary topic. D is food safety. It does talk about food safety, but it's not primary topic. Therefore, the correct answer is protecting the environment. Question 3. The story suggests that in the future, the narrator will be likely to do something. First is travel to New York to visit relatives. It didn't talk about that at all. Buy a new car. Only possible talking is here, but obviously they didn't talk about this part. They even talk about to ride bicycle more than driving. Eat less fast food. Fast food they're talking is on the paragraph 2 and 3, but it's the first one is talking about the trash. The paragraph 3 is talking about the disposable utensils, which is not talk about eat less fast food. It did say, 我觉得这些做法减少了污染和浪费，所以我决定从现在开始也不用一次性餐具了。He decided not to use disposable utensils, but he didn't say he's going to eat less fast food. And then the answer choice 4 is take actions to help protect the environment. From the beginning talking about this, and if he said at the last paragraph it says 如果世界上每一个人都能养成保护环境的好习惯， 我们的生活一定会越来越美好。Because he realized if in the world everybody develops the habit of protecting the environment, and our lives will be better and better. Therefore, he will be likely to take actions to help protect the environment. This is the correct answer. Question 4 is, according to the story, where did the narrator and Jamie go on a hot summer day? This one, because when you were scanning, we already saw they went to this conversation, those talking happened when they were going to the Great Wall. So the answer is Great Wall. But you can take a look on the other ones. A Western style restaurant, no. A bicycle store, no. A recycling station, no. So the answer is the Great Wall. Question 5. Which of the following is not mentioned as a reason why Jamie brought his own utensils to lunch? This one is on the paragraph 3. When they were eating, the narrator saw that Jamie has his own knives and forks, so he felt like weird. And then Jamie explained the same. 他不会用筷子吃饭. Jamie does not know how to use chopsticks very well. So this one mentioned. 也不知道中国餐厅会不会提供刀叉. Restaurants in China might not provide knives and forks. Also mentioned. 而且他认为用一次性筷子太浪费. Using disposable chopsticks is wasteful. Also mentioned. Using one's own utensils is more sanitary. This one, it didn't mention about this part. So this is not the reason that Jamie brought his own utensils to lunch. So the answer should be C. So this is how you quickly, first you read the title, second you quickly scan the paragraphs, see how many paragraphs, using those words you already know to determine every paragraph of what they're talking about, and then read the questions quickly and find the details about those questions, what they are asking. You need to find those answers. This is about the stories and the letters. The second kind of reading materials include the notes, advertisement, and science. Those contents usually followed by 1 to 3 questions for you to answer. And these reading materials are used to evaluate how you extract information in the text, short text. The information usually include these 5 kinds. First, topics. Just like in the story or a letter. 2, purpose. Purpose changes people's attitudes, opinions, requests, and reasons. 3 is personal identities and relationships. 4 is locations. 5 is all kinds of numbers such as dates and times, prices, phone numbers, amount of items, temperatures, and so on. So those are the information. So those are the kinds of information you need to find. Then the strategies include 4. First, understand the topic. It's short. It's not going to have, for those kind of materials, they don't have the title. But by quickly scanning, you need to find the topic and understand the topic. The second strategy is also, once you figure out what's about, and then you read the question before you read the details. And then you target the information each question specifically asked. You find for example, they ask numbers, you're looking for the numbers. they were asking about temperatures. You're looking for the temperatures. And then usually before you take the AP Chinese exam, when you study, when you learn, you need to practice and be familiar with the numbers and along with those measure words, because in Chinese, besides the numbers, you have to know how to use those measure words. So you can understand and find those correct numbers for the dates and times, prices, phone numbers, amounts of times, and amounts of items and temperatures, etc. Here are some examples. This is a note. It says, 听说, you quickly read it. 听说期末考试一结束你就回家了。小明你好，听说期末考试一结束你就回家了，昨天才回来。So I've heard you went back to home when the final exam finished and you came back yesterday. Okay. 你可能 maybe you still don't know. 你还不知道，你可能还不知道学校前天发了通知。And then quickly say, okay, 学校图书馆开放时间有变动。And then how this it's gonna like for you to take too much time. You say, okay, it's about library opening time change. And it says 周末一样也一样 and 写论文 and 今天下午 today afternoon I will call you and something. So quickly it's about library, it's about time changing something. And now let's take a look about the questions. 1. How does the new library schedule differ from the old one? Okay. The options include weekday hours have changed, but weekend hours remain the same as before. And then we need to looking for weekday and weekend. But here says 也一样，周末也一样. This is really tricky because 周末也一样. If you don't read this part, you only see this sentence, you're gonna think, okay, weekends hours remain the same as before. 一样. However, it's not right. You have to read this part. 早上开馆的时间提前了半个小时，晚上闭馆的时间推迟了半个小时，提前半个小时，推迟半个小时。Ahead and delay, so meaning the opening time extended. So let's see. The library closes half an hour earlier in the evening, but it says delayed half hour. This one is wrong. The library is open longer each day. This one looks right because in the morning it opened earlier half hour and it delayed half hour, closes late and half hour late. The library opens later in the morning. This is not right. And then you probably feel like it's a C or A. But here we can see opening time and closing time and 周末也一样. This means weekdays and weekends, they are the same, not remain the same as before. So the library is open longer each day. This should be the answer, correct answer. Question 2. Why does Zhang Hong assume that Xiaoming does not know about the new library schedule. This at the beginning says, I've heard you went back home and yesterday come back. So let's see the reasons. Xiaoming has been preoccupied with writing his thesis, which is not true. Xiaoming has been doing an off-campus research project, not true. Xiaoming had gone home for the post-exam break. This is true, so the answer should be C. The number 4 is Xiaoming just returned from a trip abroad. This is not true. He just returned from home, so the answer is C. How does Zhang Hong feel about the schedule changing? This we need to see his opinion. His opinion, after he talking about this, he said, 这对我们写毕业论文很有利。有利 means beneficial for us for us to write our thesis. So obviously, he's pleased. He's not disappointed. He's pleased. He's not surprised. He's not indifferent, which is the answer should be B. This is how you answer for a note. How you understand a note, comprehend a note, and to answer those questions. Of course, if you can quickly understand the content, that's the best. However, if you can't understand so fast, this is the way to do it. The next example, I want to talk about some science. Some science, they're very short. If you understand, excellent. You can directly answer the questions. For example, this one, 保持安静，文明阅览。保持, you probably know. 安静, you should know. 文明, you probably think about civilization. 阅览, this is for the library. 阅览, when you see these two characters, you must know this is about a library. So let's take a look at what is the main purpose of the sign? To warn against unsafe actions. So it's not something against unsafe action. To encourage proper behavior. This is possibly because it says 保持安静，文明阅览。The option 3 is to. Option C is to save energy. No, it doesn't mention about saving energy. To promote reading. It also didn't talk about promoting reading. So the answer should be to encourage proper behavior. Keep quiet and behave when you read, when you borrow a book or return a book. The second is 节约用电，随手关灯。What does the sign instruct people to do? So, 节约, save. 用电, meaning the power. And 随手, you probably don't know, but it says 关灯, which means turn off the lights. So let's take a look at those options. A, to save as much money as possible. Definitely, it's not about saving money. To keep the light on after dark. It doesn't look right because it says saving power and to turn off the light. So B is wrong. The C is to turn off the lights when leaving a room. It didn't say leaving a room, but it did talk about turn off the lights. To use energy efficient equipment. It didn't talk about any equipment at all. So the answer should be to turn off the lights when leaving a room. 随手关灯. the meaning, correct meaning is whenever you leave, you're gonna turn off the lights. Even it didn't mention about room, but the answer is to turn off the lights when you're leaving a room. I have two more signs to explain because some signs they give you two questions. For example, this one, 谨慎驾驶，保证安全. There are two questions for this sign. So the purpose of this sign is to, let's take a look at A, inform the public about the cost of parking. So it's not, because it says 驾驶保证安全, meaning you understand it's probably wants you to, drive safely. Recommend performing a responsible act. It's not. Promote a new safety device. No. Encourage the use of shuffers. Also no. Oh, so let's looking back and recommend performing a responsible act. Oh, okay. First, we feel like a responsible act, like doing something is not right, but compare with the other options, this one is the one. The first one, it's not talking about the cost of, it's not informing the public about the cost of parking. It's not promote a new safety device. It didn't mention about any device. It's not about the encourage the use of shuffers. So the answer is recommend performing a responsible act. B. Question 2 is where could the sign most likely be seen? This kind of question they use a lot. You will see a lot in AP Chinese exam about those signs. On the playground, no, because we don't drive on the playground. In a highway, yes, usually those kind of signs should appear in a highway. In a science lab, no way. At a security checkpoint, no. So the answer is in a highway, B. The last one said 宁停3分不抢1秒. Stop 3 minutes, don't something 1 second. 抢 means rush. Don't rush 1 second. What is the purpose of the sign? To promote safety. This one looks correct because it says you stop 3 minutes, don't rush 1 second, promote safety. Sounds right? Option B is to indicate a direction. No, it didn't talk about any direction. 3 is to pose a fee. This is tricky because it talk about 3分 sounds like 3 cents, but it's not because here 3分 means 3 minutes. So it's not to pose a fee. D is to prevent theft. Not at all. So the answer should be A, to promote safety. Question 2, where could the sign most likely appear? At a railroad crossing? Yes, because it says stop 3 minutes, don't rush 1 second. In an airport, because we don't drive in airport. At a bus stop, no, we don't drive at a bus stop. In a parking lot, it's also not. So the correct answer should be A, at a railroad crossing. So that's all for today. Let's have a sum up. We went over about the question amounts and how you will be asked regarding the reading materials in AP Chinese exam. We talk about 5 categories, 5 kinds of reading materials, and you can divide it like long kinds, long readings like stories and letters, and the short readings like notes, advertisements, and science. And we have different strategies for those different kinds of reading materials to comprehend and to comprehend those materials and to answer the questions correctly. That's all for today. Thank you for watching. 再见。